All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we have got some OP-14 spoilers to go over, okay? We're going to be getting right into this, so let me go ahead and lay out the video for you. First things first, we got the spoilers, and then after that, I do have one game on the sim, okay? Because I know a lot of people like to just watch the gameplay videos and stuff like that. We will have one game at the very end of this video of me playing Red Purple Roger versus Blue Ace and Newgate. Okay, so that could be a lot of fun, okay? I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description as usual, guys, and I'll have everything, all links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. This video is brought to you by Newgate. Pre-orders are now open for the Journey's End playmat featuring the Pirate King, with a 1 in 20 chance to pull the special Wanted Bounty variant. Plus, the Chaos and Crown collection, including the Berserk and Absolute Ruler playmats, are available at a discounted price. Newgate is also introducing their new soft cloth hybrid playmats, now available with select designs. And don't forget to use the code TheVVTheory at the checkout to get 8% off on your next order. Alright guys, first card we're going to be going over in today's video is Absalom. This is a yellow, 3-cost, 5,000 power Thriller Bark Pirates type character. With the effect on KO, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you may reveal one Thriller Bark Pirates type card and add it to your hand, and place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay? Then we have a trigger that says play up to one Thriller Bark Pirates type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. Very nice. Okay, the trigger effect is actually very good, right? Because this is a 3-cost 5k, and if we hit it from the trigger, well, now we get to bring a 4-cost out from our trash. Now, it does come into play rested, so your opponent will be able to attack into it, but who knows, that might have been their last attack for the turn. So the trigger, though, that's an A+, very solid, and it is very thematic for Thriller Bark, and it plays cards from the trash. Which, you know, speaking of which, I'm surprised this on KO effect did not put the remaining cards in your trash. So notice what it does. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal one Thriller Bark Pirates type card and add it to your hand, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. I'm surprised this one did not stay on theme like the trigger did on the very same card. I'm surprised it did not allow us to put the remaining cards into our trash to fill up our trash for, you know, future interactions. But either way, this is a very solid card here. 3-cost 5k. You can play this out on curve. One thing that is so nice about the characters with on KOs is you don't care what happens to them. I mean, there are still ways to deal with them by bottom decking them or trashing them or bouncing them or whatever. However, you know, you can just play this card out and go from there. And it's just a 3-Dawn investment. You can play this out on curve, and if they bounce it back to your hand, okay, in the deck that this is designed for Black Yellow Gecko Moria, sure, bounce it back to my hand. Now I'm just going to trash it with my leader effect to gain a life, and then I can go from there, right? Maybe play it from the trash later. So really good stuff here. Having it on KO, it's another good thing about it is you don't care if it gets KO'd because you get an extra effect from it. So really, really solid card. Okay, let's keep going. All right, next up we have Silver's Rayleigh. This is a 6-cost, 6,000 power yellow character with a 1k counter, former Roger Pirates type. And the effect is, we got 2 effects here. We have a trigger and an on-play. The on-play says if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 3 or fewer life, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with an original power of 7,000 or less. Okay, and then the trigger activates this card's on-play effect. Okay, easy enough. Very straightforward for the trigger there. So the on-play effect, I'm not in love with it, guys. Believe it or not, I'm not in love with it. It is not bad. We are hitting a 7,000 power or lower character, and it goes off of base power. But we're finally at a time now. So let me actually reapproach what I'm about to say here. With a card like this, this is a yellow card that has to do with power. It's a yellow card with removal that's based off of power, original power at that. And for those who might be new to the channel, we went through an entire arc on this channel, an entire era on this channel, where we were very focused on Red, Yellow, Sabo. And one of the best things about Red is, of course, the power reduction. And I would love to be able to combo a card like Silver's Rayleigh with some of these new events coming out. I think there's a new Fire Fist card coming out. It's either an OP-13 or OP-14, I can't remember. But it's like a 3-cost card that does minus 5,000 power to a character for the turn. Okay, well now, if I comboed something like that with this card, I would be able to hit a 12,000 power character. However, this goes off of original power. Very disappointed that it goes off of original power, but other than that, the card at face value here, this is a very solid card. 6 cost, 6,000 power with a 1k counter. On play, your leader does have to be multicolored, and your opponent does have to be at 3 or less life. You'll be able to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with an original power of 7,000 or less. That is very, very solid, and of course the trigger just does the same thing as the on-play effect. A card like this probably still would find its way into a deck like Red Yellow Sabo, or who knows, maybe Blue Yellow Ace. I'm not really sure. I'd have to really think about it. I'd have to spend some time to really think about how I would use this card. But I have to say, guys, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. Now, if I had all the leaders in front of me, I might be able to make something happen real quick in my mind and think, oh, this card could go really well in this deck or this deck or this deck. What do you guys think this leader is made for? Is this made for Blue Yellow Boa? Or excuse me, not leader. What do you think this character is made for? Which leader do you think this character is made for? I would imagine it's probably intended to be used in Blue Yellow Boa. But at the same time, I'm not sure. Where would this leader go best, guys? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I keep saying leader. My apologies, guys. Where do y'all think this character would go best? Y'all tell me down in the comment section below. Okay, next card. All right, next up we have Mr. 4 Babe. This is a black 4-cost 5,000 power Baroque Works character with a 1k counter, and it has blocker and on KO. Add up to 1 character with a cost of 8 or less with a type including Baroque Works from your trash to your hand. Wow, okay, so you're going to be able to grab an 8-cost character with a type including Baroque Works from your trash to your hand. Very solid, guys. This seems like a really solid card here for Crocodile. There is a card we're going to look at in a minute, guys, but not yet. Hold your horses. We got a card to look at in a minute that might go perfectly with this character. But other than that, guys, this is still just a good card, even without any kind of special interaction with your trash. It's a 4-cost 5k, 1k counter blocker. That's been good for a long time now. It's been just fine for a long time. And then having an on KO effect built in, well, that's going to be very nice as well on a blocker because we can trigger it very easily just defensively. Or in Black Crocodile, one of the leaders coming out in OP-14, I think we're going to be able to KO this card just right on the board. So really good stuff here. Big fan of this card. Nice utility blocker. Okay, next up we have Chew. There we go. This is a blue 1-cost 3,000 power character with Fishman and Sun Pirates type with the effect on play, if your leader has the Fishman type, draw 1 card. Okay, I mean, this is a 1-cost 3k that draws you a card if your leader's Jinbei, pretty much, right? Is there any other blue... I'm trying to think. Are there any other blue leaders in the game right now, guys, that would be able to draw a card from this? You know, not counting Rainbow Luffy. That's very different. But is there any other leader in the game right now that would be able to use this? I can't think of any off the top of my head. But either way, guys, in Jinbei, that this is clearly intended for in OP-14, this card's great. This is a 1-cost 3k. You're going to be able to play this out right on turn 1. It draws a card. And then guess what? After that, in you know, the next turn, you'll be able to play out a 3-cost on curve and then trash a card with your leader's effect to attach 2 Rested Dawn to this character and swing in for 5. So this seems like a very well-designed card for Jinbei, but other than that, not a whole lot more to talk about here. Just a very solid 1-cost 3,000 power character, no counter, but we do have an on-play to draw a card. Really good stuff here. Okay, next up we have Arlong. Arlong is a blue 1-cost 3,000 power character, Fishman and Sun Pirates type, with the effect on play, if your leader has the Fishman type, look at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 card with a cost of 2 or more. Okay, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order? Is this like a really, really aggressive version of Garp, but even better? Hang on, guys. If your leader does have to be Fishman Pirates type, as opposed to Garp, who has to have, you know, your leader can be Sabo, Ace, or Luffy. This character here is, and, you know, Garp, the one I'm talking about from OP-13, it's a red 1-cost, 2,000 power, 1k counter character, searcher that does a top 4 search if your leader is Ace, Luffy, or Sabo, and it can grab any card that costs 3 or more. This card just says if your leader has the Fishman type, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, same thing as Garp, and reveal up to 1 card with the cost of 2 or more. Sorry, that's where I should have put the emphasis on 2 or more. So, and then you add it to your hand and then put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. And this is a 1-cost 3k versus the 1-cost 2k with a 1k counter. This, again, just like the card we just looked at, guys, hang on, Chew, these are both 1-cost 3ks, which is actually very, very relevant with Jinbei's leader effect. You'll be able to trash a card from your hand to attach 2 Dawn to a character. You can put it right on this character and swing for 5 on the next turn. Really, really good stuff here. And it's a top 4 searcher for any card that costs 2 or more. Really good stuff here, guys. Very solid. Good design for Jinbei. Really good stuff. All right, next up we have Zoro. This is a red 7-cost, 8,000 power slash character with the Supernova and Straw Hat crew type. The effect is Rush, and when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. Okay, so unlike the last 2 cards that we looked at, which was Arlong and Chew, these cards here are leader locked to Fishman type leaders. Okay, but this new Zoro, yeah, guys, this is a totally open-ended card, or however you want to say it. This is a just generically good card. It's not locked in any way, shape, or form, and the stats on it are very strong. This being a 7-cost, 8,000 power rush character already makes it worth rushing with, right? But no, this is also a Supernova and Straw Hat Crew searchable card. And then there's also a when attacking to give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. Yep, there's just no downside to this card. This is just a really solid one here. And with it being a Supernova type card, remember guys, with the new leader coming out, Trafalgar Law in red for OP-14, you can only swap Supernova and Heart Pirates cards, I believe, between other Supernova and Heart Pirates cards. So one problem people were coming up with, you know, when they were starting to, you know, try to think up a good deck list to run for the new leader without any of the OP-14 support, just to kind of get an idea of what to run, there wasn't any support that I can remember that was red, Supernova, or Heart Pirates type that had 7,000, that had more than 7,000 power. So this card already, okay, 8,000 power card, and it has Rush. Yeah, this card is excellent, guys. 7-cost 8k rush card with a when attacking to have power reduction built in. That's already good enough. And then you combine this with a powerful new leader effects like what we're seeing in OP-14 with Trafalgar Law. Well, now we're swinging in for 8,000 with this card, and then we're going to move that 8,000 power over to another card, you know, a smaller card that we can swing in with now, you know, for just extra value. So really, really good stuff here. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, next up we have Virgo. This is a purple 5-cost 7,000 power character with Punk Hazard, Navy, and Don Quixote Pirates type. And the effect is once per turn, if your Don Quixote Pirates type character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may return 1 Dawn card from your field to your Dawn deck instead. Wow, very powerful anti-removal there. And then we have a when attacking effect, Dawn -1, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. Okay, when attacking, Dawn -1, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. Guys, this is just a strong card. This is just a strong card all around. It's a 5-cost 7k that can protect your Don Quixote Pirates on the board. Okay, that's already good enough. And remember, the 5-cost spot, it's probably going to be a little bit cluttered, to be fair, but the 5-cost spot in the purple Doflamingo decks is going to be very important because you're going to have the 5-cost Rosinante there, and maybe even the 5-cost Senor Pink, and now maybe even 5-cost Virgo, and you might want to run 2 or 3 of each of those, because understand, you'll be able to cheat these cards out with the 8-cost Doflamingo. So yeah, guys, I have nothing bad to say about this card. This card is just a absolute MVP in a deck like Doflamingo, where basically, okay, now your opponent can't even remove your board. Yes, you do start removing a lot of Dawn in the process. However, there's, with it being purple, there should be ways to fix your Dawn anyway. So yeah, this card, outstanding. 5 cost, 7,000 power. This character is massive. Okay, guys, this character is absolutely massive. It matches the actual picture of this guy at Virgo. Check him out, guys. He is just jacked out of his mind. Got the shoulders and chest bowed up. He's just ready to brawl. And yeah, they did a perfect drawing for what this card actually embodies in the game. I mean, protecting your board for Dawn -1, and then attacking and reducing the power of your opponent's characters. Yeah, we'll take it every single time. Really good stuff here. Okay, next up we have Miss All Sunday. Okay, we have an SR here, guys. This is a black 7 cost, 8,000 power Baroque Works type character with the effect, on play, if your leader's type includes Baroque Works, you may play up to 1 character card with a type including Baroque Works and a cost of 4 or less, and up to 1 character card with a type including Baroque Works and a cost of 1 from your trash. I was going to say 1 or less, right, out of habit. But no, and a cost of 1 from your trash. So, not bad. I mean, this is a 7 cost 8K that's going to pull a 4 cost and a 1 cost out of your trash as long as it's a Baroque Works card. And let me see something real quick. Does it play them rested? You may play up to 1 character card with a type including Baroque Works and a cost of 4 or less. And up to 1 character card with a type including Baroque Works and a cost of 1 from your trash. It does not say rested. So guys, we already saw a card earlier in this slideshow today. This Mr. 4 Babe. This is a 4 cost blocker for Baroque Works that you'll be able to pull out, and when this gets KO'd when you block with it, you're going to be able to get an 8 cost or lower character with the Baroque Works type from your trash. But it will go to your hand, but still, that's really high value. And this is a 7 cost 8K, guys. This card is massive. 7 cost 8K that pulls out a 4 cost and a 1 cost from your trash. Yeah, not a whole lot of downsides to this card. Not a whole lot of downsides to this card. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, if I read everything correctly there, you could end up making a loop with this card and the 4 cost Babe that we just looked at. So you'll be able to play out a 7 cost 8K Nico Robin, or Miss All Sunday, excuse me, and then you'll pull out the 4 cost Babe and a 1 cost whatever. And now when you go to block with the Mr. Or with the, I almost called him, what was his name? It was like Mr. Was it Mr. 4? Sorry, guys, we got to go back. Yeah, Mr. 4 Babe. You'll be able to pull out an 8 cost or lower type character with the Baroque Works from your trash. Well, you'll be able to pull out another one of these if you have another one in your trash, and now you can just keep doing that over and over again, right? Well, I should say, as long as they keep trying to remove your Miss All Sundays, you could just let them go, because whenever you go to block out with your with the Mr. 4 Babe, you'll be able to pull these cards out of your trash and back to your hand and just redo it all again next turn. So that is cool. There's some cool stuff going on here. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for some good black Baroque Works support for this new Crocodile leader, because a lot of people want to make this leader work. Well, this card right here is definitely a step in the right direction. Playing out a 7 cost 8K, a 4 cost, and then a 1 cost. Really high potential here. Good stuff. Okay, next up we have Kuro. Kuro is a green 7 cost 8,000 power character with the East Blue and Black Cat Pirates type. And the effect is on play if your leader is Kuro. Okay, we got some stuff to talk about. Play up to 1 East Blue type character with a cost of 6 or less from your hand. So, just a little bit of conjecture, a little bit of speculation here. I'm just thinking out loud. Seeing this card and knowing that rotations are coming in April makes me think they have a new Kuro leader in mind for the future. Because understand, guys, if I'm not mistaken, someone help me out in the comment section below, correct me if I'm wrong, but the original Kuro leader, Green Kuro, I think is from OP-03, and if that is true, that will be rotated out of the game in April next year, okay, in April 2026. Well, this card won't even be available to us in the West until around that time, right? Sometime next year. I think it's in January or so, January or February. So if that's the case, they're printing green leader, green Kuro leader support for East Blue. I would not be surprised if there's going to be a new green East Blue Kuro leader coming out relatively soon, or sometime, in the not so distant future, we'll say. But otherwise, this card here, guys, it seems very strong. If your leader's Kuro, play up to one East Blue type character with a cost of 6 or less from your hand. This is basically like, I guess this is like the common version of this Miss All Sunday, right? Now, I actually like the Kuro a bit more because it can play out a larger character. However, Miss All Sunday allows us to play out 2 characters, a 4 cost and a 1 cost. And of course, it's all Baroque Works locked. Well, this Kuro here plays out just one massive 6 cost character. And sometimes that's actually preferable because instead of getting a 7 cost, a 4 cost, and a 1 cost, you get a 7 cost and a 6 cost. It's kind of hard to say. It all depends on the build of the deck and, you know, what all the cards do, obviously. But in general, this is still a very, very strong card for being just a common. I will say that. This card seems very strong for being a common. However, it is only usable in a single leader in the game right now outside of Rainbow Luffy, obviously. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Kuro in the future. But guys, like I said, with the leader Kuro being rotated out of the game in just a matter of months, I would imagine they're going to print some type of leader replacement in the not-so-distant future. We'll have to see. I don't know, guys. I have no insider information. I'm just speculating, just thinking about it. Not trying to get anyone's hopes up, but that would make me think that maybe something's coming soon. Okay, let's check out the next one. All right, next up we have Trafalgar Law. This is a red 9-cost, 10,000 power slash character with the Supernova and Heart Pirates typing, with the effect Rush, and on opponent's attack, once per turn, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, okay? Choose one of your characters and swap that character's original power with your leader's original power until the end of battle. I think it should say base power, but still, we get the idea. Okay, so I think what they're trying to do with this effect here, let's even use this character for the example I'm about to use. Let's just say you have this 9-cost 10k on the board and we smash in for, you know, 10,000 and move on, whatever. Okay, now on our opponent's turn, when they go to attack in, let's say they go to attack into our leader for 9,000. Well, we can go, okay, on opponent's attack, once per turn, we'll trash 2 cards from our hand, and then we're going to choose this character for this example, but it just says you can choose any of your characters, right? Choose one of your characters and swap that character's original power with your leader's original power until the end of the battle. Okay, wow. So, guys, that's going to allow us to get to like a 10,000 power leader in that example, right? So, okay, well, in the example we just used, if they swing 9,000 into our leader, and we trash 2 cards from our hand and use this effect here, okay, well, now you're swinging 9 into 10, and we basically get out of that attack for 2 cards out of hand, what should have normally cost 3 cards out of hand if we were just a normal 5,000 power leader. So yeah, this is a very powerful effect here, and here we go again, guys. Bandai definitely gets what's going on. Bandai knows what they're doing here. They get what's going on. This is a 10,000 power Supernova Heart Pirates character. So what you're going to be able to do is attack in with this card using the new leader Trafalgar Law. You can attack in with this card and then swap its power over to one of your smaller Supernova or Heart Pirates characters. Really, really powerful SR here, guys. I'm a big fan of this one. And another thing that I absolutely love about these red cards we've seen, at least the Zoro and this Trafalgar Law, they're not leader locked in any way, shape, or form. You can run this card in any red deck. It just has Rush. It's a 9-cost 10k Rush card, and then it has an on opponent's attack once per turn effect to trash 2 cards from your hand and then buff your leader, right? I guess you could do it in other ways too. I guess there's some like real crazy technical ways you can even defend smaller characters, I guess, right? If you have like a smaller searcher on the board you're just trying to protect, you could swap your leader's power with the smaller character, the searcher's power for the battle, and go from there. But again, that's like more of like cutesy tech type stuff there. I wouldn't recommend doing unless you really know what you're doing. But either way, this card, absolutely incredible. 9-cost 10k Rush character. You can play it in any red deck. Seems good. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, next up we have Nami. This is a green 4-cost 2,000 power character with the Film and Straw Hat Crew type, 1k counter, blocker, and on play, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less. All right, guys, that's wild. Then at the end of your turn, set up to 5 of your rested Dawn cards as active. This has got to be red-green Luffy support here. I mean, sure, you can run in anything technically. Look at this, guys. There's no restriction anywhere to be like anywhere on here. There's no restriction to be found anywhere on this card. It's a 4-cost 2K, 1K counter blocker. On play, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less. Then at the end of your turn, set up to 5 of your rested Dawn cards as active. I mean, this, like I said, I think this is clearly intended for red-green Luffy. But I mean, this is just good in every single green deck because you can run events and stuff like that, and this card just helps you get there, right? You're going to be able to rest down your opponent's characters. You have a blocker, and at the end of your turn, you get 5 Dawn cards as active. Seems incredibly good. Not much more else to say about this card, guys. This just seems like an incredible card. Oh, I know. This has got to be green-black Isho support, right, guys? Green-black Isho, you attach a Dawn to your leader, -1 cost to your opponent's board, and now you're hitting 2 9-cost or lower characters. That's right. No, I'm just kidding, guys, but seriously, this card seems really, really solid. Okay, let's keep going. All right, here we go. Now, this card I might spend a little bit of extra time on, guys, because I am very excited about this. I did read this earlier today. We got Crocodile. This is a black secret 8-cost 10,000 power character with the 7 Warlords of the Sea and Baroque Works type with an on-play and an on-KO. Okay? The on-play says up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 9 or less cannot attack until the end of their next turn. Afterwards, if your opponent has a character with a cost of 0 or 8 or more, draw 1 card. And then on KO, you may trash 1 card from your hand and play this character from your trash. Guys, this card is just awesome. I knew they were holding out on us. I knew Bandai was holding out on us for the true black Crocodile support. Things just didn't make sense. Like, okay, what are we going for here? We can't remove characters per the rules on the leader card. Like, what are we supposed to do with this? How are we supposed to make this work? Well, guys, it's basically looping this Crocodile. There's going to be other effects, of course, you can use, like the Miss All Sunday we saw that can flood out the board. You know, that's good stuff there. The Mr. 4 Babe can bring back 8-cost and lower Baroque Works cards from your trash, I believe. So you're going to be able to do all this crazy looping. And think of it like this, guys. Remember, you can KO a character with your leader's effect. You can KO one of your own characters with your leader's effect. So you're going to be able to play out this Crocodile, lock down your opponent's card that they cannot attack for the turn, and then afterwards, if your opponent has a character with a cost of 0 or 8 or more, you can draw a card. And then on KO, we're going to be able to trash a card from our hand to play this card back out from our trash. So we get to draw a card, and then on KO, trash a card from our hand. We drew a card and trashed a card, so we went neutral there. And now we're on playing this card again. We're locking down 2 attacks with our leader's effect plus this card. And it's a 10,000 power boss card, right? It is an absolute bruiser. This card is a beast. Really big fan of this card here, guys. It makes me want to play Crocodile more than anything. It's all starting to come together. I don't know if we're going to have enough support from the get-go out of the gates for Crocodile to be super competitive. But I have to say right now, guys, this card is really powerful. Maybe we'll have all we need, or maybe we'll have, you know, at least enough to kind of mess around with and make something work with what we'll have, you know, when OP-14 releases. But I will definitely be trying to make this character here and the leader work. I mean, speaking of which, it is worth mentioning, guys, this card's not leader locked. This is just a black 8-cost 10k secret rare that has an on-play up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 9 or less cannot attack until the end of their next turn. And then if your opponent has a character with a cost of 0 or 8 or more, draw a card. On KO, trash card, bring this back. This might just become a black staple, guys. This might just be one of those cards where it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I play this? I play it out for 8 Dawn, my opponent can't attack now, and I might even draw a card, and you just can't get rid of this card. Unless you can bottom deck it or something like that, obviously, you just can't get rid of it, you know, through a normal on KO means. So, really good stuff here, but let's keep going, guys. Cannot wait to mess around with this one. Okay, guys, I think this is the last one. This is the last spoiler here. We've got Dracula Mihawk. Okay, and this is a secret rare. So, the last card we went over for Crocodile, that was a secret rare. This Dracula Mihawk is another secret rare. This is a green, 9-cost, 10,000 power / character, 7 Warlords of the Sea type. Your turn and once per turn on your opponent's attack. We have 2 different effects here. On your turn, when this character is rested, up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 9 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. Remember, guys, cannot be rested. They can't attack. They can't block. They can't do an activate main that requires them to rest as part of the activation cost. Nothing. They cannot rest until the end of your opponent's next turn, okay? And remember, with Mihawk, the leader, I'm pretty sure you can rest down your own cards, right? Yeah, in fact, if I remember correctly, I know you can. You're going to rest down this card and just lock down your opponent's your opponent's best character, right? And then once per turn, on your opponent's attack, you may discard one card from your hand and give up to one of your leader or characters plus 2,000 power for this battle. So you're going to be able to cycle your bricks out of your hand to give 2k to one of your characters or leaders for a battle. Just incredible utility with this card. It's a 9-cost 10k, and look at this art, guys. This is outrageously cool. This looks so awesome. Really good stuff here, and you guys know how it is. With all of Bandai's alt arts, they always look better in person, every time without fail. Okay, so awesome stuff here. I don't have a lot more to add. This is just like a generically good card because it's a secret rare. If I'm not mistaken, that is what Bandai tries to do with their secret rares. They're just going to make generically good secret rare cards. Okay, but yeah, 9-cost 10k, you rest it, your opponent can't attack with their best character next turn. It does stop at 9 or less, which means the 10-cost guys can still sneak through. However, now you can trash a brick from your hand to get a 2k counter for the battle that you would have otherwise not had. So still very good stuff here. Big fan of this card. Alright guys, that's it for the spoilers. Tell me what y'all thought about those down in the comment section below. Okay, I really want to know what you guys thought about all those crazy spoilers we just saw. But now we're going to hop over to the sim and check out one game of Red Purple Roger versus Blue Ace and Newgate. Alright, let's get into this game, guys. Volume is off. Let's get the speed on 2x. We're already there, and here we go. So I think, generally speaking, Roger likes going first, so we can just go straight to, you know, we can just start ramping as fast as possible. But at the same time, I didn't get a buggy, but I did get the 1-cost 3k event that can ramp, so maybe it would have been nicer if we could have gone first. But I think my opponent won the dice roll and chose to go first. So they established a squad here. They're going to swing for 8,000 into my leader. I'm just going to take that. That's fine. And we're going to play out the Inarashi here, which can actually take care of the squad. It can actually KO the squad. Squad. I always messed up. Sorry, guys, if I'm butchering that. Okay, so we play out the Inarashi, and we did attack for 6,000. They countered out of. So that Inarashi doesn't always get all that much value. It's usually just a card to ramp with, but we were able to get some extra value with it. That was really nice. Okay, so here we go. They're going to use the Atmos to push the Inarashi back to my hand, and I'm just going to counter out with it. I'm completely fine with that, right? That's completely fine. Okay, so we play out the Shanks there. We grab the 8-cost Secret Rayleigh, and we're going to swing in for 6,000, and then we're going to develop an Odin, which ramps us up to 8 Dawn, I believe. So next turn we'll be on 10 Dawn, but we will only have 9 Dawn to work with for the turn. So that 5-cost Ace is such an awesome card when you can actually get it to work. And, you know, Red Blue Marco and Blue Ace and Newgate, they're the best at getting that card to work, the 5-cost 6k Ace on the opponent's board. Really good card. So I think I probably should have blocked that, guys. Looking back, I think I should have blocked with the Odin and kind of dared them to attack into it. Because look at that. Now he's just going to bounce it back to my hand with a Jozu. Attacks in for 6. We 2k counter out of that. They swing in for 7,000, and we're just going to go ahead and take that and go down to 3 life. Okay, now here we go, guys. We have a chance to drop Roger and start really dealing with the opponent's board. All right. Or not the Roger, excuse me, the Rayleigh, the Silver's Rayleigh, so we can start dealing with their board. Okay, so it looks like we're going to swing for 3 into the Atmos. And I have to say, guys, the right call is to counter out, because if it's a 5k body, like it's only going to be a 3,000 or a 2,000 power character next turn, or a 3k, whatever it is next turn. Like, that won't matter next turn, but in the future it might. I'd rather get any kind of 5,000 power or bigger bodies off the board if they, you know, because the opponent's going to attack with them at some point, right? Theoretically. But we will be a 7,000 plus power leader for the rest of the game. So that does start to add up. Maybe we should have ignored it, but I think the right call was to 1k counter out, because then I swung into it for 8,000, and they got to, you know, save 2k counter from their hand, like 4k counter from their hand, potentially. Okay, so here we go. It looks like they attacked in with the Jozu. We were able to get out of it. And now we're going to swing 7 into 7. They do develop an Odin. So while I was rambling there, guys, while I was ranting, they did develop an Odin. We probably should have been more aggressively going for the Jozu here. I think they should have blocked. I'm not going to lie, guys. I think they should have blocked. But at the same time, we know they want to protect that Kazuki Odin. So here we go. We play out the Goldie Roger. We leave one Dawn is active because we have a 1-cost 3K in hand. And then we're going to pass the turn. I don't think it would have been a terrible idea to develop the 1-cost Searcher Shanks there. And just look for a bigger character next turn. Okay, so they reveal some kind of 9-cost, some type of 9-cost Edward Newgate. And I don't know if they have any more tricks they can do. Because I'm not attacking into their life, they only have 2 cards, guys. They don't have a whole lot they can do. Okay, let's see. I mean, I would be playing out that 9-cost card. I'm not going to lie. The 9-cost, the 9-cost Edward Newgate they just revealed, I would be playing that card out. Okay, 15 into my Rayleigh. You can have that. Would you like to swing again? We're basically teasing him. We're basically daring him. Like, hey, do you want to swing with your Odin again? Wink, wink. Go ahead. It seems like a great idea. It's not a great idea. So we swing for 7. We swing for 10. I think we're going to develop a bunch of blockers this turn. Because he probably thinks, okay, I'm going to get rid of that Roger now. And, you know, in theory, that's a good idea. But at the same time, he needs to develop a board, right? I have used Kazuki Odin quite a bit at this point. The 7-cost 8K that can restand. The card is very strong. But you have to be able to play out cards that generate value and then pull those back in order to get like the full, you know, value from Kazuki Odin. Because if you're just playing like this Whitey Bay here, it does buff his leader by 2,000. That's cool and all, but why not play out the Ezo Searcher to draw a card and then pull the card back to your hand with the Odin's effect to you know, generate more value in hand. Okay, it looks like they might do that now after all. So they play out the Ezo, and now they're probably going to attack in with Kazuki Odin, leaving 3 Dawn active. 12 into 10. I think we're going to give them a 2K 1K or a 0-cost 3K here. It looks like the 0-cost 3K. We decide to keep the chopper in our hand for a 2K counter or a blocker for later. All right, here we go. Are they going to swing again? It would not be the right call because we have 2 blockers on the board. All right, here we go. Remember, guys, I do keep this in 2x speed. All right, we are watching in 2x speed. We're just waiting on our opponent. All right, so it looks like we're going to go ahead and slam down a Goldie Roger. Just another Goldie Roger. Yeah, now we're swinging for 9, 10, and then we could swing for 7, 7, 9, 10. But do we really want to do that? I don't think the answer, I don't think we do. I don't think we want to do that. It probably wouldn't have been a terrible idea. And then if they want to go all in on one of my Rogers there, I could leave the, you know, I have a 2K 1K in hand, so I don't know. It's probably we probably needed to leave at least one Kazuki Odin active to do that. All right, here we go. Let's see what they choose to do. They play out an Ezo. They play out a blocker. And the Ezo plus Odin synergy, that combo is chef's kiss. Like, it is very good. It is very, very good. And remember, guys, we are literally in 2x speed. We're just waiting for our opponent to make his mind up here to make his decisions. Which happens. You know, I'm playing against random players on the sim. It happens. Okay, 12 into 10. That's not going to do. We're actually going to 2K 1K out of that. And now we might decide to try to go for lethal here. Because we can play out this Roger. Or, excuse me, not Roger. We can play out the Silver's Rayleigh. Tap down their blocker and go from there. Okay, we attach a Dawn to our Odin so that we can get the effect of the Rayleigh. Don't forget to attach a Dawn, guys, when you want to use Rayleigh. Yep, we're swinging in for 7. This guy knows he's in trouble now. He uses the Ezo to fix his hand a little bit. Hopefully he gets into some counter power. But yeah, he's in trouble, guys. We've got 3 7s, a 9, and 2 10s coming through here. Okay, he just used a 1-cost 4K to get out of a 7. So this is going through for sure, which means this 9K is going through for sure, which means this 10K is more than likely going through, and if it's not, then the other one will. Okay, great game to my opponent there. Great game to him. That was really good stuff. So, guys, we're not going to do a full deck list breakdown on this or anything like that. I will leave the deck list, though, in the comment section of the video. Well, all right, guys, that is it. Let's get the outro page on here. Thank you to everybody who made it this far. OP-14 looks very exciting, and, of course, OP-13 is what we're about to get into now in the West. In fact, we just got it yesterday for the first time, right, at the time you're recording this on Friday. OP-13 is now legal in the West. That should be a lot of fun. And then OP-14 is right around the corner. It's getting released in January, guys. They're starting to finally catch us up with the East. That is awesome. All right, guys, if you are liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, or part of the Discord community, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. This community is incredible. All right, that's all I got for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time, peace.